Hello everyone, it's Foxler again. And my... Oh. Okay, let me try this again. Hello everyone, it's Foxler and KodyWulf here. We have a few things to talk about. We got a video today someone sent us talking about the Furry Raiders. He goes by himself as the Dog Father. Sounds really mobster there, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
But he had made some really good valid points about how the furry fandom is not what it used to be, which I firmly believe that myself, and I've been trying very hard for the last 10 years trying to find a solution to bring everyone back together equally. In that I knew that I was going to be a problem for myself. And the Furry Raiders has shown as a group it's become a huge problem to be integrated with the rest of the furry community. Both sides, people that are for and against, have been fighting between each other. And I really believe it only comes down to the simple question, why are you a furry? And who are you a furry for? For yourself or
For others.
for others? Yes. But how you go about dealing with other people that don't see your same viewpoints is really important. And we'd like to, in response to the Dog Father, we want to share some of the things that we have experienced personally and the group has experienced regarding that. I know that KodyWulf here and myself have experienced quite a bit of hate from the community in so many levels, and I know the Furry Raiders themselves has experienced it, and anybody that is associated, friends, or just talking with us, are also treated just as badly.
Yeah, and I've seen people saying anybody who's in the vicinity is now,
Targeted.
or they're going to target anybody who's in the vicinity.
Which I don't think is right at all. I think that's just a horrible way of dealing with it. And we actually have a few notes about things that people have said about us regarding, how they feel about the Furry Raiders, and I think it's time to kind of share some of these viewpoints. And these are all statements that were made publicly or on to the community on the behalf of their own personal accounts. So I had a chance to see them. Kody's seen them, and a lot of other furries have seen them, and I think it's caused a little bit of outrage, and I believe that's probably why the Dog Father made the video he did, regarding that. But I'd like to start with the reason why I met this Wolfie right here. You host a meet down in Boulder, Colorado, don't you?
Yep, pause at Pearl and Boulder.
And he never knew me when you were running that meet. I was pretty much non-existent. But one day, people started complaining to him.
Oh, so they weren't even complaining to me directly. They were going through other people to complain to me for them.
Well, regarding that they didn't want us being at your public meet.
Yeah.
At a public meet, keep that in mind. This is not private, this is public, so Mr. Wolf over here can't technically stop anybody from coming. And he didn't want to anyway, is that right?
And people were like, well, you can, not acknowledge their existence. It'd be like, I don't have a reason to do that. I'm not going to do that just because other people want me to. I'm going to do that because I have a reason to do that. But I didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, they tried forcing your hand in so many ways to not allow the Furry Raiders to come, and it had ended up, us talking and getting to know each other, and eventually becoming great friends, and you being part of the group, and now a year later, it's going to be a year later when all this happened. And people are now making comments like, Colorado furries, Do not attend Paws of Pearl on April 1st, which is coming up. It's ran by Nazis, Furry Raiders quota, and it should be avoided. Now, people have gone to your meet many times before, and they seem to have a good positive experience. It's fun and enjoyable.
Always, yep. I always get lots of great comments about it.
I think, I've been there myself a few times. We have a chance to walk the mall and interact with people, and then have, dinner at the end. And I think that's a great way of interacting with the public and be able to be yourself. I mean, that's the important piece. But then we have furries trying to shut it all down.
Yeah, and them saying that hurts the people who choose not to attend more than it does me, because they don't get to come out and experience that, because these people have put in the fear or into their mindset that they're going to be seen as horrible people if they attend this meet. And, that's not okay. As long as I have at least one furry who wants to go to this event, I'm going to keep hosting it, because to me it's not about the size, it's about the quality. And I plan to deliver that quality no matter what. And that quality is hard work. That quality is hard work.
You're overthinking it.
Yes.
It is hard work, regardless, to host a meet. We understand that. And I encourage everybody to experience it for themselves. Regarding any type of meet, I've experienced quite a few meets myself locally here in Colorado, and I've got mixed reviews. And it's kind of disappointing when, regardless what you do, even if you follow the rules, because I'm subject to a lot of hate, and the Furry Raiders are, even at a public location like a restaurant, we're not welcome anymore. And a good example of that right now is Aurora Furs meet in the Village Inn. And the first time I went to the meet was back in last year in about June, and I did wear the said offensive material on my arm, and I was told that I was not welcome if I wear this. So I did go sit in the corner with some friends, and just was on the other side of the building and away from everyone. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to come back here. It wasn't until just recently, the last couple weeks ago, I decided to go back. And I already knew the rules. Nothing, no Furry Raider imagery.
Which was established by the meet hosts themselves. Requested by the meet hosts themselves.
Right, and I agreed to that, no problem. I showed up, sat down, talked with a few people, spent 2 hours, and left. There was no issues, there was no conflict. It was peaceful around me, but people apparently not giving me the opportunity just to exist. They wanted the host to remove me completely just because I was there. And unfortunately the host has agreed to that, and I find that very disappointing, and almost in a way putting us into a position where we're not welcome. No, and she made it very clear, the host made it very clear that anybody that is a Furry Raider is not welcome. Even one of the furs that do attend every week is no longer welcome. And it made a special little note here. Due to the past issues, which I have no idea what these past issues are, members of the Furry Raiders and others hate groups are no longer welcome to attend Aurora Furs. Now, I don't understand how we're a hate group. There's a whole lot of information out there saying that we're a hate group.
Yeah, they're just gonna say it's because of the armbands, but they're not red anymore, they're rainbow, but it's still hate,
Oh, we have so many colors now.
I know, you went to Pride, you hateful thing.
I know, I went to Pride and people
could you?
In a red armband, and people got upset. No, nobody got upset. I got so many hugs. I could smell the perfume and cologne from everybody on my suit. That's how many hugs I got. But that is just one out of many problems that we have occurred on a literally weekly basis. I mean, it is just a crazy amount. So yes, we've had a hard time dealing with meats, and even some of the other more private meats, it's been a mixed review. Some are saying, don't wear the imagery and you're welcome to come. And we try it out, and they're very nice to us if we follow the rules. And others, regardless of what you do or what agreements you make, they still want to find ways to remove us.
Yeah, it's not about the armband anymore to them. It's a personal,
It's a fact that we exist, and they don't want it. It's like saying it would be any different to telling someone, "Oh, you're gay. I don't want you around." That's horrible. That's just horrible. But also we get a lot of personal attacks too from individuals directly wanting to do some kind of movement against us or some kind of harm. Which I have comments.
It helps. What that does is it helps. Contributes, not helps. Contributes to dividing the fandom even more, which is what they were complaining about us doing in the first place. I saw so many posts on social media where people would attack other people who have nothing to do with us but are curious about us, or saying, well, these guys don't seem too bad, here's why, and then they just get replied with, oh, you're a Nazi, oh, F off this, F off, It's disgusting.
Or drink bleach, or jump in front of a car, or whatever.
I mean, it's disgusting to see that. They're attacking random people who have nothing to do with us simply because they don't agree. Yeah. That's what's dividing the fandom.
It is the fact that you're not taking into consideration that we are an extremely diverse group of people, and not everybody is going to agree with each other, and not everybody's going to wear the same kind of fursuit, and everybody's going to dress it differently. And if you can't just get past that simplistic piece where that we're all different, but we should all be accepting to those different views. We don't have to like it. We can even hate it, but you also have to give some respect to the fact that they exist as a person, and don't treat them less than human. I've seen a lot of that. I see that personally way too much, and people ask me, like, how do you handle it? How do you deal with it every day? And I pretty much try my best just to ignore it. But when your existence, your furry identity is in question, that's difficult to deal with. Like the personal attacks that we've seen, towards the Raiders from individuals, they say, "I'll never associate with you if you support or deem okay and are friends with the Furry Raider members. Period." Make that. And they believe that anyone who thinks it's okay to march around at any con or venue, what they say is a Nazi armband. It's a pop. Very clear, and I know that the Dogfather has made that very clear. You should check out his video on that one. They believe that we're absolutely dangerous because of this. This right here, this is dangerous. I don't see Fluffy being dangerous. But they make comments that I find very concerning. I've been given the opportunity by society in general to exist in this form, which I appreciate very much. And to deem anybody unacceptable because they want to exist in a certain identity is wrong of me to try to dictate that in any way. They made comments that they have curb stomped skinheads since they were a teenager. And I will fight Nazis wherever I goddamn well see them. Now, I don't agree with Nazis and their viewpoints, but I will allow them to exist for their own choices, for their own personal reasons, because society has given me the right to exist. And when people are saying they're going to use violence towards other people because they have an ideology, or they identify as maybe a National Socialist, whatever. In my case, I identify as myself Foxler.
Yeah, and usually when these problems happen, say the people, the Socialist Party, they're going out there to do like a march or whatever. These other people are coming out to the problem and to complain about it, and then, in the process, a portion of them, they go and, disrespect the police officers. Some of them probably disrespect each other, because I've seen that where protesters will fight each other over God knows why. There's no respect there. It's only hate. People are going there because they want to say something, not because they have something to say, the protesters.
Right, and that, with that kind of, I've never seen in my life this much protesting ever. I don't even try to involve myself in that. I like to just go out, enjoy life, and I don't see no need to lose my mind over certain little petty things. I'm half African American. Every now and then I'll see a bunch of Caucasian males who drive around their pickup truck and they have Confederate flags in the back, right? Mm-hmm. What I don't do is I don't go up and tell them, hey, this offends me, you need to take it down. Because what they're doing is they have, the freedom of speech, freedom of expression. It's their right to fly that flag, even though I might not like it, You know what I do? I just don't even pay attention to it. I don't acknowledge it because it's not a big deal. I'm an adult. I can ignore it, Right. If they're not doing anything to harm you or dictate your rights as a person in this country, then, they do whatever damn well they please. And the fact that the furries are trying to dictate what other furries are doing, even if it's not Furry Raiders or other individuals, they try doing everything. They try to stop us for Furry Raiders going to conventions. All they want is to remove us.
Yeah, and now they're telling other people to boycott the con. But yet, in the process, they blamed us for shutting down the convention. They're also telling other people not to go to, this meet because, they support the Raiders, or, this meet because, it's ran by this person, So, who's really trying to shut down meets here?
Who's trying to divide the fandom, really? And even personally myself, people are trying to force the directors and staff of conventions to make my persona a bannable, and it's ridiculous. And they want to ban it because apparently my persona equals hate speech. A Corsac Fox is apparently hate speech now, and my name is apparently hate speech. I don't even know where they get that from. And the fact that even when we try to negotiate or have a civil conversation or try to share viewpoints, it comes down to two things: that they want change, and they want, let's say myself personally, to change. So I need to change for the better of the community. But a community is not without its individuals, and without the individual, you don't have a community. And we are all individuals, and we should be able to be ourselves as individuals to make up a community. We don't need this mom mentality and controlling how it should all work. Well, the Raiders have got comments that they don't want people to back down. Let's push back harder than the Raiders. So obviously that's implying that they would like to fight with us in a way, and also show them that we don't want to change. Well, what? So you don't want the idea of everybody's accepted? Having equality, where, no matter who you are, we can say, yes, come join us. Let's talk. Let's interact with each other. Let's figure out why we do what we do.
Yeah, and that's the goal with the new meet I'm trying to host called Furality. I want everybody to, be able to come as themselves and just enjoy, you know, a night of, you know, just dancing, food, drinks, socialization.
You know, have an environment where everybody can be welcome, and you know, have a place where you can just be yourself without any of this. And even if you have a little bit of social stigma, you know, in your interactions in the fandom, you know, it's a good place to just try to let go and be able to connect with people you think you never could have.
I mean, I'm just trying to provide, you know, a place everyone can be themselves and have fun. And, you know, it's unfortunate that when there, you know, another similar meet might pop up that's, you know, oh, there can't be that. They can only just be the one. You know, I mean, you don't see Pause at Pearl nor Tails fighting. We get along just fine. So, I mean, why can't you?
You know, when they're saying that they want to boycott you completely out from existence, and without any really good, solid reasons, you know, just, you know, the make-believe reasons, you know, what the hell? You know, what are we going to do about something like that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they have a problem with the armbands, you know, in the cases where, you know, we've taken them off, you know, we've put them in other places, we've changed the colors even, which were all recommended by the community, but then that's never good enough. Nothing's good enough.
Well, I think that we, you know, as we've stated on our website, is that we allow everybody to choose the color they want with the patch or where they place it. It's just a paw print, and to me, this paw print, or any paw print, represents the community of furries. Well, I mean, in various forms, yes, it was used by any furry. It was used by hundreds of, you know, a whole bunch of cons.
Yes, and it's no longer, you know, white, black on red. You know, you can put it on anything you want. We've been putting it on whatever we want, you know. Bandanas, hats, you can put it on shirts, you can put it on your forehead for all we care, you know.
Absolutely. And it's been like that for almost a year now. I mean, in June it will be a year since, you know, we started making these changes, and people still think that, oh, it just happened. You know, if you're not part of the group, if you're not part of Furry Raiders, you have no idea how we all interact with other group members. You know, you don't see the discussions that we have every day about all these problems. And we sit down and try to figure out ways that we can work to make this work for everyone. And it's not an easy task. It is never an easy task. And really the simplest solution that we can find is that, you know, everybody needs to be able to deal with it with themselves. There is no way that the Furry Raiders or any other furry organization within the community can do anything about this. This all comes down to the individual. Like we state on our website, that equality begins with you, and that is the most important aspect.